Hello everybody and welcome to today's video and welcome back to none other than Black Ops 6. So I know I released a video a few months back when the game had first come out talking about how, I thought I was done with Call of Duty, didn't think I was going to play it much or do any content anymore, but I'd played the game on Game Pass and had found myself really enjoying it. So now here we are a few months later. As we know, the honeymoon phase of Call of Duty, everyone's talking about how this game, whatever the title is the greatest Call of Duty that's ever been made. But then we start getting into December and January, and people start changing their tune and finding things about the game that they don't like. So we're going to talk about those, and we're going to talk about the state of ranked play, which is what I play primarily, and just go from there. So first off, number one issue with Black Ops 6 has been the cheating and the lack of a working anti-cheat. So I've always been a console player. I started playing console back in the OG Modern Warfare 2 days, Xbox 360, and that's what I've played on primarily. I've had a PlayStation, but I've primarily been an Xbox player. Now, last year, as you guys know, I sold a lot of my gaming systems and different things like that. And so when I've come back to COD this time, I've been playing on Game Pass for PC. And so I've been playing on a PC, still with my SCUF controller. I'm not a mouse and keyboard guy. But I have been experiencing hackers left and right. Now, not that I didn't experience them when I played on console, but it seems like now it's been trying to pair me more with PC players. I don't really dive too deep into that stuff. I'm just giving you a realistic, what I'm experiencing point of view. And it's frustrating because, every once in a while you will get a report back that, says, oh, thank you for reporting this player, action has been taken. But then there are other times where, I'll report and block a player, and then I run into them like 4 matches later, and they're doing the same thing. Now, look, I understand how hard it is to detect, maybe a Cronus or things like that. But when people are blatantly walling, it just gets under my skin. When a guy is, pre-aiming me from my spawn all the way around, just waiting on me to get there, and that's been a problem. And so, they said in the Season 2 update, hey, we're going to fix this. And then it turns out that update is crashing people's PCs and blue screening and actually damaging people's PCs, which is just absolutely insane. And so this problem, and it's not just in ranked play, but it's also in pubs and traditional multiplayer, and it's a frustrating experience. I understand integrity is something that most people just don't have in their day-to-day lives, much less in a video game. But there needs to be a somewhat working anti-cheat to where people have belief in the game that the people they're going up against are legitimate and that they're not hacking. And I understand people throw that out. Someone, pulls a turnaround on you and you're like, oh, they're hacking. Or, someone's just sitting on a corner that people don't normally sit on and they drop you and you're like, oh, they were walling. But, there are legitimate people out there who are hacking. It's not that they're better than me. It's not that they're better than you. They've got an unfair advantage. And so Call of Duty really needs to work on this. It's the same old story, different day. But I feel like the longer this goes on and the more titles this goes on, it's going to have an impact on the game that we all love so much. And the reason why you're here today on this video, and the reason I'm making it is because we're into Call of Duty. And we have been, most of us, for a long time. So that brings me to my second point with what's going on in the life of Call of Duty right now, is the content. Now, tail end of Season 1, ranked play was getting a little dull. But they have now added some new guns in, and they've added bounty and dealership in to the map rotation. That's great, and it's brought some life back into the game. I love bounty, especially on hardpoint. I mean, it is a close quarters map. But, overall for the game, there's not been a lot of content. Zombies they're doing great with, which is something they lacked with in previous years. But it just seems like, they hype all this up and they talk about all this, and then somehow we get into February, we get into March, and the game is just dull. Could that change in the next few seasons? Sure, it could. Could it get worse? It probably will. And so it leaves the state of Call of Duty in limbo, where if you look at, the only places where we can track people who are playing the game, overall, the player base is dropping dramatically. And it really makes me think, if Call of Duty Mobile wasn't as successful as it is, and people weren't playing as much as they do, and they weren't spending as much money as they do, maybe then they would care more about us over here on console and PC. I don't know. But it makes you wonder if they're just going to keep shifting more and more to that, and unless the player base picks up, which we don't know how many people are playing on Game Pass, and, you know, we don't have the full scope of numbers, and I don't think we'll ever get those again. But it leaves us in a very unique position in the life cycle of Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It's a great game. The Omni movement is great. I like the TTK. I like the overall feel of the game. It's, you know, it's a Black Ops game, and many of us feel like those have always been, for the longest amount of time, the best games. But when you pull into the equation the hackers and the lack of content and people who are dealing with their computers being destroyed by the actual anti-cheat that's not really an anti-cheat, it becomes a very frustrating experience. So, you know, as someone who primarily is a solo queue ranked player, or someone who is, you know, playing with one buddy, 2 at tops, you know, it becomes a frustrating experience to where, you know, it's one thing to carry your team or to be level with your team and work with a bunch of people you never played with before. When you're going against hackers, me and my friend played one last night. I mean, you know, he's a gold 2, I'm plat 1, going on plat 2, this guy's plat 3 in our lobby. Okay, no big deal. Except every time you get near the guy, you start lagging, and he's aiming at you through walls. Went on for the whole match. It wasn't just happening to me. It was happening to the guy I was playing with. It was happening to the other people in the lobby. We all reported him. Here we are the next day as I'm making this video, and I still haven't got a report that any action's been taken. He was blatantly walling. We all saw it. And so it becomes a frustrating experience overall. This game has huge potential. I'm not backing off what I said a few months ago, that this game is one of the best games we've had in years, but you have to keep up with it. You know, it's kind of like buying a new car. You buy that new car, but if you never change the oil and you never take care of the brakes and you never get the transmission fluid exchanged, it's going to break down. It's going to have problems, and you're going to have a great-looking car sitting in your driveway rusting away. And that's kind of what I feel like is happening to Call of Duty right now, is they put out this great product. We all go get it. We either buy it or we play it on Game Pass, and then time goes by, and they slowly, more and more, neglect us, put us on the back burner. And then, you know, we get to the summer and they announce the new game and we go back through this cycle again. And really, as long as we keep spending money like we are, that's probably not going to change. But that's why we're here, to voice our opinion, and for you to voice your opinion and let them know, hey, look, we're not okay with it. This is a great game, but it needs work, and it needs you guys to put some effort into it. We put effort into it. We play it. We take time out of our lives to play it. So why don't you guys reciprocate that and, you know, put some time and effort back into it? So yeah, let me let me know what you think about it. I mean, are you still playing Call of Duty? Is there a new COD killer on the scene that, you know, everybody is gravitating towards? I haven't seen one. I know Scump's playing a new game that, you know, he's got a character in, and, you know, that looks promising. But, you know, Call of Duty is in a league of its own when it comes to being set apart as a game that just keeps coming out and has a huge player base. It has, you know, professional players, and you've got the Call of Duty League scene. And I don't think it's going anywhere, but I think for those of us who have been playing the game more than the last just few years, but who've been playing the game for a decade or more, we're becoming increasingly frustrated with what's being put out and handed to us. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below. What do you think? What's your thoughts? What are you guys doing with Call of Duty right now? Follow me over on Twitter. Let me know what you're thinking about it. And yeah, we're trying to get back into doing some more content. We're going to get back to streaming and everything. But I wanted to share this ranked play, gameplay with you, share my thoughts on the state of Call of Duty, you know, 3 or 4 months into the life cycle now, and see what you guys were thinking and how you were feeling. But thank you so much for watching today's video. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.
Crimson's on their heels. Hit 'em hard. Hard point located. Up, attached to hard point. Hard point is secure. Hard point is active. Hostiles on the hard point. hard point. Hard point identified. Hard point locked down. Hard point active. Hard point is secure.